Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Yeah, I wonder, is our Texas still in dry dock? Yeah, probably. I can well imagine that whatever it is they needed to do, it's probably going to take a year, but I could be wrong. What do I know? So I was going to say, I wonder if it's pancake down yet. But I think I beat that to death, so I won't talk about that. Okay, now, I made a mistake here when I put together this little 5-inch gun turret. And one of the viewers told me, he says, you put the base plate on upside down. It should go the other way. And I'm not going to even fumble with this. We talked about the fact that my fingers don't work too good, so we'll kind of recompose and get it set up. But anyway, I was wondering, how is it that it was up in the air, kind of? In other words, there would have been a space from the base of the barbette here to the bottom of the turret, where you would have to have a trapdoor type of thing, where you would get the shells up from down in the bottom of the barbette. And I was thinking there must be something missing here, because well, yeah, there was something missing. Okay, so I got that problem solved. I went ahead to step 49 here, and you can clearly see that this little flange on the base part is supposed to be up, not down. Okay, now another viewer talked about frisket film, and he said that he has some frisket film that's almost like, I think he used the word cling wrap, and it's about a thousandth of an inch thick after you peel the backing off of it. Now, I haven't used this I got this about 3 years ago, I think, and I can't remember how flexible is it. In other words, would we be able to put it over this entire thing and get it to go down all the way around the edges where it has to go, and then cut it off? I don't know. I want to try that here today. And we might have a nice sunrise again in probably less than half an hour. We'll see. If it's nice, I'll show it to you. I think that's about all I wanted to talk about first thing this morning. Let's just get right into it here, and maybe we'll test out our frisket film. Get in nice and close, and we won't need the macro lens, but I don't want to waste too much of it. And yet, on the other hand, I probably will never use it anyway. What I remember is that it's kind of stiff. It's not flexible like cling wrap. At least not the cling wrap I have. Okay, let's get the day started here. I think that if I cut just a little bit of the corner right here, later, if I choose to use this piece, I can lay it on the superstructure here. See, my thinking is where am I going with this? I mean, does it really matter? All right, you can see the way this tapers like this. Well, I could lay it on so that the corner that I cut out will. Good grief! Let's move on here. All right. Now, if we take I'll recompose. Okay, here is why I want it to be flexible. You can see where you could probably get it to stick on a flat area like this, and cut it to form. But what happens when it gets to a little place like this, which is maybe only half a millimeter, like here, so maybe only half a millimeter higher than here, but there is a gap there where the spray could get in onto the deck. So that's why I had wanted it to be flexible. And as I mentioned, I can't remember just how flexible this is. Okay, let's just lay it on there now. And does it seem that we can get it to go down and seal, like at a place like right here? No, this is not going to work. Well, is it? Maybe it will. Maybe I was just pushing on it wrong. No, it doesn't stick down. It's not like masking tape. And it's not like cling wrap. At least not this particular type of frisket paper. I'm going to measure this just for the fun of it, see how thick it is. Because the gentleman in the UK that commented, he was saying that his was 1/1000th of an inch thick. I think this is more. What I have done here is I took our frisket film and I folded it together, sticky side to sticky side. And the idea is that I'll be able to handle it a lot better, and it's not going to be sticking on the inside of the anvil, at least on one side. And although that might have been a good thing, because then it's not going to fall through on me. So anyway, let's just sort of get going here. Now, I already did zero this, but it might be off just a little bit. No, it's still at 0. Okay. Back her up just enough so I can get this in, and hopefully it won't fall through. Okay, now we'll close her up again. Okay, it looks like it is 93 10,000ths of an inch. Would that be right? Okay, there's a decimal point, so it'd be 10 hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. Yeah, so it'd be 93 10,000ths. In other words, this cling wrap that I have is about 4/1000ths of an inch thick, or 4.5 1/1000ths of an inch thick. So it's obviously a lot thicker. Did I call this cling wrap? I meant frisket film. Yeah, mine is obviously a lot thicker, so that's why it doesn't have the flexibility of cling wrap. I wonder how thick cling wrap is. Just for the fun of it, I think I'm going to check. Okay, so I got a piece of cling wrap here. And this stuff is so incredibly easy to fold over on itself. I'm just checking to make sure this is still at 0. Yes, it is. Okay. Now see if we can get it in there. Without it folding over. Or you know what I mean? If it kinks and you're measuring a kink, it'd be twice as thick as it's supposed to be. Maybe I'll just open it up just a little bit more here. Why is that not going? Okay, let's just open it up some more. There we go. Okay, as near as I can tell, it's going to go on a flat surface. So here we go. Oh my, that's quite a bit thinner, isn't it? It's like about 10 times thinner. So, okay, it's only 4/10,000ths of an inch. So that's more than 10 times thinner. Watching our time lapse here this morning, I'm realizing that our sunrise was sort of giving us hope and then letting us down and giving us hope. And, well, eventually it did break over the clouds. And as I'm speaking at this moment, it's bright and sunny outside. Okay, I do believe I've done everything I can do now to this larger piece before we mask it. We've already done the small piece here. Now, I don't think I've actually tried this. I want to see how well is this going to look now after we get this snapped down into place. And that's about it. Okay, now you can see that line that we did all the way around the outside. It actually, I think that looks quite good. It sort of defines where the bulkhead stops and the deck starts. Now we do have some pieces that have to go on. Where are they here? Okay, there are some pieces. How are these supposed to go here? Am I in the wrong end? Well, maybe it's in the other end that these things are supposed to go. Something like this. Yeah, there we go. I think that's the idea. I think what I'm going to do with these flat pieces is I'm going to spray them and glue them on afterwards. Although I don't know, I'll see how it goes. It could be that when it comes time to spray the sides here, it might be a good idea to do these all at the same time and just keep working all the way. No, that won't work because these are going to be sprayed separately. Well, we'll figure it out when we get to that point. In the meantime, the next step now is, let's get this off. How much of this piece here do we have to spray? Or rather, we're through with this larger piece. Let's just, sorry about my boarding house reach here. Okay. Okay, there's going to be quite a bit of painting on this, I can see right now. It's got to go all the way around here, all around these 5-inch guns. I guess it doesn't matter now if we paint the top of the barbette or not. It's going to be covered, so that we don't need to worry about that. Yeah, it's going to be completely covered no matter how I turn it. So I was worrying about that for nothing. Okay, well, I guess may as well get at it. It's got to go all the way around here. There might actually be more painting involved on this. Yeah, got to go around here, got to go here for the gun tubs. There's a few little areas like right here, that circle. I think we'll probably do that. And on this side, anything special on this end? I don't think so. Okay, I've already done a lot of painting on camera. I think what I should do is just sort of get at this and work at it for a while, and we'll see you back in a while. Okay, I was wondering now how much of the this is going to show. Was it going to be the same as the other one we did or not? But what I'm noticing is that you notice that if we put it on this peg here, which is the only place it can go, it's going to be raised up off of the deck. It's almost as though these gun tubs were an afterthought, but maybe not. And they go like that. Okay, all right, and quite a bit of quite a bit more than, I guess you might say, of this circular area is going to be visible, because the person will be looking in at an angle sort of underneath. So I want to make sure that I maybe just may as well just paint pretty much the whole thing. Yeah, okay, I'm glad I checked. Now, one of the viewers was suggesting that maybe the paint might go on a little better if it was thinned out a bit. Now, I don't want to thin it out too much, because then I'm definitely going to have to do 2 coats. So let's just put in just a little bit here. I think that's all I'm going to do. Just thin it out just a little bit. And we'll shake this up in the paint shaker. It's getting pretty grungy around the edges, isn't it? Okay, so we got PR for paint retarder and T for thinned. Okay, perhaps this is not the best camera angle for what I'm trying to show you. Maybe we should be looking straight down, but we're not. But all the way along the edge there's another place where the planking stops, and then there's about, I'm guessing, 2 millimeters of what appears to be probably some sort of deck plating. And this part goes right here on it, like that. And I'm just wondering how much is going to be seen. Yeah, I think it's going to be a case of where I should try and paint that. And then we've got this piece here. It goes... how's it? Come on, Ron. Okay, yeah, it goes like that. So I was wondering, how do they get into this gun tub? But I can see that you would be able to squeeze in right here. Where's our barnacle bill? Quick, man the battle stations. I hear the kamikazes coming. I think that's the kind of gun that was in here, was an anti-aircraft gun. Yeah, you can see where a guy could squeeze in there. But it gives you an idea how big this is when you see a sailor who's roughly 6 feet tall. It really puts things in perspective, doesn't it? Yeah, that seems about right. For a minute there I thought he was too big, but he's not too big. Okay, just a few seconds ago I glanced over at the monitor to just see how everything looked, and I realized that probably you can't see what I want to talk about here. And that is, I've got a situation going on. And that is, there's a... Well, why don't I recompose here, and then you'll be able to see. Okay. Now, there's a place right along here that my brush is touching that I want to have the number 77. And as far as I know, there is nothing that goes against this bulkhead. I think that this should be painted the 19. Do you remember me saying that if I have to paint the something that's vertical versus something that's horizontal that you're basically looking down on, it's a lot, in other words, I would far sooner get the deck paint a little bit up onto the bulkhead than the bulkhead onto the deck, because you'll notice that mistake a lot worse. So I'm wondering if maybe I should take out a few minutes here and just paint this with the 19 and get it over with. It's going to have to be painted anyway. Like I say, I don't think anything gets glued on there. So I might just do that. Okay, we got our first coat on. I used the thinned and frozen. And I used the big brush, and I was actually surprised at how well I was able to, go down and not come out onto the planking. It went quite quickly, but we only have one coat on there, and it's thinned out, and I can see I'm going to need to put a second coat on. So I'll probably use my little heater here to sort of speed things up. But I'm going to wind today's episode up, and maybe I'll go at it again this evening later, and there will be an extra in the offing, you might say. But thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you in the next episode.